Sportsline, brought to you by Ace Hardware, AKLC Studios, Arnold Furniture, Buffalo Bills Roadhouse, Fazio's Italian Deli, Highland Tire, Matteo's Pizza, Myrna's Brewery Outlet, the Resevich Family of Funeral Homes, 380 Discount Warehouse, Tower Auto Sales, and Westmoreland Insurance Services. And welcome to the program again. Hi, everybody. Bob Tattern here tonight. And we're going to be with you for the next 60 minutes, and we'll share some thoughts, perhaps on the Super Bowl, if you still want to kick it around. George Guido joins me tonight for co-hosting. George, did you have any smart money on the big game?
No, it was all dumb money. Let me tell you, 48 under, and I think they surpassed that early in the third period. But you know, I had said over the last couple of weeks that I can't remember the last time I had less interest in a sporting event, and it turned out to be. I'm glad I hung around and watched the whole thing. It was just an incredible game. It went down to the last, minute when San Francisco stole 3 plays out of Pitt's playbook when they had second and goal. You know, I thought Dave Wannstedt had come over and taken over as coach of the 49ers. Those play calls were so awful. And that, that touch play that right at the last play of the game, I still am waiting for the time they put in a rule in football that any coach who tries that touch play close to the end zone should get fired immediately. So, I can't remember it ever working. I can remember Pitt playing Navy about 4 or 5 years ago in a Wednesday night game on ESPN. It went double overtime. And Pitt was going to try that play all night if it took them. They finally lost in double overtime to an inferior team because of that play. They kept trying and trying and trying. And when I saw San Francisco was going to try it, I said, you know what, this game is over if they're going to try that touch play.
I don't know how many of you folks know it out there, but no team in Super Bowl play who was down by more than 10 points at halftime has never come back to win. It could have happened yesterday, and I thought sure that it was going to happen. But there's a lot to go over with regarding the Super Bowl. Flacco, no doubt, the MVP. There's no reason to think it would have gone to anybody else. And I've heard this discussion all day on a number of talk shows. Where do you think, or how many quarterbacks today would you put in front of Flacco?
Not too many.
The list is growing smaller.
I'd still put Roethlisberger in front of him, and I'd still put Peyton Manning in front of him, but not too many more. Phillip Rivers.
But if you were building for the future, you might think differently.
Yeah, maybe
okay.
For the future.
Might.
But somebody like Phillip Rivers is considered elite, and I don't think he's anything close to there. If you compare him to Flacco and Flacco's accomplishments, this is what, the 11th or 12th playoff game he's won on the road. I mean, that's really phenomenal.
Now, if when your son would like to go out in the backyard and toss a football, and you're thinking you'd rather be sitting in the hammock or maybe inside just in the shade, think about what Flacco is now considering. The guess was, a Baltimore sports writer said that in all probability, the minimum would be $20 million a year for 6 years. We're looking at $120 million over 6 years.
Well, if that is true, then I think the salary cap is a little over $100 million, maybe $107, $108 million.
Well, then
so you're going to have 20% of your payroll tied up into one guy. I don't know how wise that is. Yeah. But with Flacco, you might have to make an exception to that. I mean, this guy has really proven himself.
That's the difference between, the actual proof of, as you said, the evidence is there, winning on the road, and just the long drives when they needed it. It reminded you of going back going back to the days of Elway, the Drive, etc. It was a great game, and it's not that I'm a Baltimore fan,
No,
but I got news for you.
When the lights went out, I was like, good, we won't have to have a decision in this game.
All right, folks, rules and regulations on winning a prize here in the program. And you can only win at your household address every other week. And that means if your wife or you just won, then the other member of the family cannot win for another week. You can win the Grand Salami Prize or the Mystery Profile, but once in a calendar month. You can try the Mystery Profile once a month, and if you miss it, you're out until the following month.
And we're starting a new month tonight.
Yeah, that's
as far
right.
as the show goes.
Also, the multiple choice questions, we give you 15 seconds. The Grand Salami at 20, the Mystery Profile will go clue by clue, and we've been told to pick up the pace, okay? So you're gonna have to go quicker. First-time callers, 2 or more prizes with your correct answer. And if you've not called this program in at least a year, then you're considered a new caller. Trivia answers are on my website, doubledribblebob.com, and my radio program comes up over the weekend, Saturday mornings, 10 o'clock, Sports History and Sports Nostalgia, WAVL on 9:10 a.m. George and I will take a commercial break. We'll come back and take our first caller, and we'll talk probably about the Super Bowl and who knows what all. So stay with us, folks. We'll be right back. This is where you get the absolute freshest deli meats and cheeses. Fazio's Italian Deli in Arnold. At Fazio's, you're getting only the best and freshest selection. Fazio's has its own bakery and offers you fresh baked bread, rolls, pastries, and more. Pick up individual salads to go, Italian sausages, hoagies, custom-made sandwiches, even party trays for your next get-together. Freshness and quality every time at Fazio's Italian Deli, Leishman and Dre in Arnold. Westmoreland Insurance Services isn't like your ordinary insurance agency. Not only can you get a variety of quotes from leading insurance companies, but you can purchase that protection through Westmoreland Insurance. Westmoreland provides a full range of coverage for all of your automobile needs. Westmoreland Insurance Services, putting your family's safety in their family's hands for almost 40 years. Give them a call, 724-337-3557. All right, don't forget our phone number, 724, what is it, George? 236.
0430.
Let's go to the phones, George. Find out who's number one. I think it's Tony from Lower Arnold, our leadoff hitter.
Hey, guys, how are you?
Hi, Tony.
Tony, good to hear from you.
Yeah, they're watching the game, and the lights came back on, and holy mackerel, there was the Steelers and their coaching staff playing against Frisco. I couldn't believe it.
You know,
That's how Baltimore looked.
In other words, you're saying they were sitting on their lead and they lost momentum.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Those lights going out definitely benefit the 49ers.
well, George had mentioned before we went on the air tonight that it was, what, an hour and a half?
Yeah, it was
Or what?
94 minutes in between offensive plays
Yeah.
from offensive formation for Baltimore.
Yeah. Somebody said that they caught Steve Young and outside with bolt cutters at halftime, but I don't know. But, the 49ers, they probably sat around and individually or in the groups and probably said, hey, this ain't how we got here. Come on, we don't play this way, and probably sparked them. But, hey, things happen.
Yeah, they had a
4-1.
chance probably to review, everything that's been going wrong and decide they didn't try that much different. I think Kaepernick ran a little bit more than and he was. But other than that, I mean, you just got to get down there and run your plays and have confidence. A lot of it is mental. What did Yogi Berra say? Half of it is 50% mental or something like that.
Half of it is 90% mental.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the Ravens were, that field goal he didn't take. I don't understand it. I mean, in a way you understand it. You figure if he makes the first down or even runs for a touchdown, but But you had the big lead. You kicked the field goal. You get the ball the second half. That guy goes for a touchdown. Lights or not, I don't think the 49ers come back after that.
Yeah, in fact, the 49ers had dug themselves, as we found out, too big of a hole as it was. Yeah. But, the way Baltimore was going at that point, hey, you might as well go for it because Frisco was showing that they couldn't stop them.
Yeah. But
and on the other hand, had they gone for it, then they'd say, well, we've been having great momentum.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he go?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he run for it?
Well, that was a good 7 yards. Maybe if it had been 3 or 4. But you know what? If that guy doesn't slow down, if he just barrels through there, I think he at least gets the first down. But he stopped, hesitated, and then the guy laid the block, and then by then everybody caught up.
Tony, there better be 5 great guys on Flacco's Christmas mailing list.
Yeah.
The 5 linemen
Isn't that
have
the
got to
truth?
get the biggest, best Christmas cards going because they have given him so much time to throw. I could have thrown.
But isn't this amazing? They just switched the line, move one side to the other side, and bingo, they got a terrific line. We've done everything, including probably taking guys out of the seats and couldn't get a line.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We had to bring Flozell Adams out of retirement a couple of years ago, and we got a year out of him. And that was a checkered year because he was hurt too. It's just amazing. Sometimes it's just pure luck. It's not that the Steelers haven't been drafting talented offensive linemen. It's just they just can't keep them healthy.
I guess. I don't know. Well, I think you have to look, if they get hurt in college, during their careers, and that I don't know, but I definitely know that the Steelers should know that. But hey, look at Lyman Sweet. He couldn't see.
Yeah.
He couldn't see
he was
the
a
ball
second
till it
round
was
draft pick.
a foot away from him.
Yeah.
You mean nobody knew that? Oh my God. So just makes you wonder, George.
Yeah.
Just makes you wonder. But you know what? Flacco has came of age. He's he's cool out there and that, and Steelers could they better wake up. These Cincinnati and that Cleveland maybe is going the right direction now since they have that guy that took over for him. So
the new owner.
Yeah,
he seems to be more serious about winning than the former ownership.
Right. So they just better wake up, or I don't know.
Well, hopefully for the Steelers' sake, the Ravens will have the Super Bowl hangover next year. The team that wins the Super Bowl usually does poorly the following year. The Steelers have been in that situation several times. So, hopefully the Steelers could make hay from that.
Well, if they sign Flacco for that $20 million, there's some of those guys are going to have to get rid of.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm talking about players.
Tony, but aren't there creative ways to come up with that 20?
Well, there always is.
They can defer some of it until after he's retired.
Yeah, they could stretch it out.
Yeah.
Get a heavy maybe a heavy part of it this year or for next year, but still stay way under. And then as they go on, there's different ways they can.
Well, what's Ray Lewis's salary? Whatever that is, they're not going to have to pay it next year.
You mean Reverend Lewis?
Yes, the self-appointed Reverend Ray Lewis.
Yeah, that's right. Oh no, he isn't going to retire, right? The corner, the safety. He was going to retire, but he decided not to, right?
I don't know. Is that the case?
Huh? Yeah.
No,
I heard
he's
coming
talking
back.
about last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever Lewis's salary is, that's Baltimore has that to play with, and you don't know who else might retire or leave the team via free agency. You just don't know that.
And what's the name of the one pass receiver that made a couple of big plays?
Oh, Anquan Bolden.
Oh, that's the guy I wanted. Remember, I've been harping on this show for how many years?
Yeah.
When he was up, I said they should get him. What do you want him for? He's not. Hey, the guy gets open. He's strong as hell. I said, and he kills the Steelers.
Yeah, he gets the job done.
Gets the job done, and showed it yesterday. So, but Steelers down. No, they'd rather have. I don't know. Forget it. Anyhow, Penguins, huh? Hey. I even forgot that game was on yesterday.
Yeah.
They gave Chris Kunitz today a 4th goal that they had credited to, was it Martin?
You're kidding. They
or
did? I
Paul
didn't hear
Martin,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so the guy winds up with 4 goals, and he did not make Player of the Week, but he was number 2 in the voting. But did well, and hey, I like his play. The Penguins right now are, let's see, well, we're number 1 in our division.
Right.
Right.
And tomorrow, I think we're in New York, the
Yeah,
Islanders.
play the Islanders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we lost them last time we played. Yeah,
So maybe go out on Long Island and have a different result this time.
yeah, maybe. I hope so. Well, you know what? They said they played better away, which I don't understand. But hey, if that's the case, then schedule all away games.
All right, Tony, let's do some trivia.
All right, my man. Let's go for the salami. I'm
right.
glad George is here tonight.
You're going to
That's
go
the
for
last
the
time I won,
salami.
he was here.
You're going to go for the salami.
Yes, I am. I got a certain point I want to reach, and then I'm going to retire.
I thought the point was last time you won.
No.
You just want to get far enough ahead to make sure.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
going to make
Tony-
sure nobody. That's what happened to oh my God, the guy that had the records.
Oh, Lou Gehrig.
Yeah, Lou Gehrig. See, he got sick, and that was it. So,
See?
all right, let's go with a grand salami. Let me
Okay.
go with number 3.
Number 3. All right, here we go.
It's the Russian weightlifter question.
I told you I used to date one.
Which NBA coach
NBA.
won 500 games in the fewest amount of games coached? In other words, he got the 500 victories quicker than anybody. 20 seconds, Tony.
500 games quicker than anybody.
Right. Got about 10 seconds there.
All right. I can't. Bill Russell.
Great guess. But I don't know if he wasn't player coach that long, but the answer is Phil Jackson.
You know what? I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah.
I thought of Phil. I mean, I wanted to get his name, but I couldn't think of it.
The Zen
All right.
Meister.
Thank you very much,
All right,
guys.
Tony. And by the way, just in case we have a couple of NBA people out there wondering how many games it took Phil Jackson to notch 500 wins, 682.
Wow, so he was 500 and 182 at one time.
Right.
That is
That's-
something. That is amazing.
So that's 5/7, a little bit less than
Yeah.
5/7, whatever that is.
Wow. Nice
So-
to have Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen playing for you.
We're going to take a break, come back. The limo man, who I think was at the Super Bowl, can give us a first-hand report. Maybe it was him or he who plugged in the toaster at the wrong moment to heat up his own rolls and caused the blackout with a bagel. We'll take a break. We're coming right back. Since 1914, people in the local area have relied on the Resevich family in deepest time of need. The Resevich family is the oldest established name in the funeral profession in the AK Valley. Its reputation and unquestionable service speaks for itself. Now the proud tradition of service continues with a 4th generation. The Resevich family serves the AK Valley from 2 locations, 5th Avenue Arnold and Leechburg Road, Lower Burrell. Welcome to Buffalo Bill's Roadhouse, the place for big appetites. Their great sandwich selection includes the Geronimo, piled high with generous portions of meat and fixings. Their barbecue ribs are the best in town. Half rack or full rack, they don't come better. Buffalo Bill's wings are everybody's favorite. Uniquely oven-baked, not deep-fried, and yet so crispy. Your choice of 13 flavored seasonings. Grab a bucket for the big game. Eat in or take out, credit cards accepted. Buffalo Bill's Roadhouse, Freeport Road, New Kensington, across from Felderelli Square.
AKLC Studios LLC is the place for your video and multimedia needs. Let AKLC Studios produce a unique television commercial for your business. At your location or in our studios, we're here to meet your needs. Ever want your own television show? Let us show you how. AKLC Studios LLC can even tape your special events and weddings. Whatever your multimedia need, call AKLC Studios LLC in Leechburg today. Professional quality at hometown prices. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Where you buy your vehicle is just as important as what you buy. So stop by Tower Auto Sales and have their experienced sales staff help you with pre-owned vehicle purchase. Tower Auto Sales. Give Mike Fanto a call. Here's the number, 412-828-6202. And just buy it at Tower Auto Sales. Folks, don't forget now my book, Bob Tattern Sports Minutes, on sale right now. Myrna's Brewery Outlet in New Kensington. The Hot Dog Guys, Stewart Plaza, Lower Borough, and Costello Printing and Blackburn's, both in Tarentum. Over 300 one-minute stories in this book, and I know you'll enjoy it. So, and by the way, George and I will both be at the Pittsburgh Mills Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this coming weekend for the Strongland Chambers Home Show. Yeah. And they've got a certain place where they put authors and feed them popcorn. Okay. Anyway, Limo Man, you up?
I'm always up.
Okay, back away from your phone a little bit so we can hear you.
I said I'm always up.
You're always up. Okay. So did you make it to the Super Bowl?
Absolutely. Thanks to Jim Nance and Phil Simms and CBS, I didn't pay for anything.
Well, when did you leave?
I left Saturday afternoon, free room at the Marriott, free Southwest Airlines, free dinner with Jim Nance, his beautiful Jewish wife, and the in-laws at the Marriott. And I gave double dribble Bob to just about everybody on Radio Row.
Okay, I'm having.
Oh, you were living large.
I'm having a problem hearing him, so you're going to have to help me translate. All right.
Can you hear me all right?
There you go. It sounds a little bit better.
A little better. What'd you think of the game?
I thought the 49ers were going to win, and I thought Ed Hockley should have been the referee, and the black fella should have done the Pro Bowl game. Ed Hockley's the best there is.
Oh, is that what happened?
That's what happened.
Because Hockley had the Pro Bowl, right?
Right. He's a school teacher. I mean, he's a high school principal in Arizona, and it was written up big time in the Sports Illustrated a couple magazines ago.
Right. Back in, whenever the referees lockout was settled.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are saying that 35-minute blackout kind of turned the tide, and Baltimore lost some momentum, giving up some,
I think so. And I don't know if I told you, but I re-talked to Ray Lewis there, and I talked to him a couple of weeks ago on the phone, and he's going to be a minister.
Reverend Ray Ray.
Right.
Reverend Ray Ray. And he does have doubledribblebob.com.
Funny, I never hear from these people. I do have a feedback page. I'd like just once to hear from one of them to say, hey, I love the story that you did on so-and-so. And by the way...
and make sure he calls you.
And by the way, somebody, I just spoke on the phone or bumped into one of our winners. And he said, in fact, it was Terry who won the mystery profile last week. And the very first clue was that as a retired baseball player on the golf course, I had 2 holes in one. The odds against that happening are 67 million to 1. And he said, was it Steve Blass? Steve Blass got it right. I'm trying to think of. Anyway, he got it right away, and he said, Bob, it was on your website, and I had the story, and he remembered it, not from the form of a trivia question, but from the fact.
He won $100.
So anyway, he won $100 in prizes, just like that, which, by the way, I did mail out. So.
Oh, did you hear about the 49ers running back? Frank Gore was fined $10,500 because he wore his socks too low. Is that ridiculous?
Yeah. Yeah, they have a very strict dress code. In fact, before the game, they have an NFL office representative down on the benches taking notes as to which players don't have their socks on correctly and that sort of thing. You know, they ought to concentrate on these guys. I can't believe how dumb they are that don't wear knee pads, especially the running backs and some of the wide receivers, Bob.
If
that's
you get
crazy.
hit knee on knee, you're done.
Yeah, you're done. I just can't believe the number of NFL players who don't wear knee pads and thigh pads too, but particularly the knee pads.
Oh, by the way, I wore my new Jim Nance suit to the game.
Oh boy, he got you a suit?
Tom Brady was fined $10,000 for unnecessary roughness in the championship game.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I had read something on that. So they're really cracking down on things.
You know, you talk about the absence of, well, not the absence, but pardon me, the incorrect wearing of the socks by whatever player he mentioned. I've forgotten by now. But anyway, when Jim McMahon, quarterbacking the Bears back in the mid '80s, was told by
Pete Rozelle,
you cannot wear that headband. He wore it in spite of him.
and put Rozelle's name on it.
I remember that.
It's amazing. And they didn't take any action against him that I know of.
I don't know, but he was always, I think not a week would go by back then where he didn't get fined for some reason or another.
I can't understand why Jerome Bettis didn't make the inductees.
Yeah, well, he came close, I understand, according to Ed Bouchette. You know, when you're in the pipeline like that, Bob, I think it's only a matter of time. Bettis is getting more and more support as the years go on. So I think that's one guy that's going to get in there pretty soon.
He'll get in next year.
Or you
Okay.
mean next year? Yeah.
Yeah. And Dave Longstaff's the new special teams coach for the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yes, he is. He's going down to Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I wish him well. I did like the guy.
I like the guy a lot. I just didn't like his philosophy in games where he would play not to lose instead of play to win. His philosophy was to try to keep the game close until the fourth quarter, then pull it out. And in college football nowadays, you just can't do that. You can't transfer that NFL mentality.
And the inductees, what people don't know, is Bill Parcells, Warren Sapp, Chris Carter, Jonathan Ogden, Larry Allen, Curly Culp, and a guy I certainly remember, Vince Lombardi, Dave Robinson. You remember him, don't you?
Oh, yes. Penn State guy.
He was just terrific. That whole Green Bay team. I went to the Ice Bowl. 20 below zero.
Oh, amazing. Well, you can pick out a couple of games that were in that same.
Greg Louganis is 53 years old. You remember him, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Swimmer hit his head on the lower diving board, right?
Yeah. He's another George Guido. One of the fanciest guys in Lower Burrell. And everybody loves you, Bob, at the McDonald's in Lower Burrell. Even Mr. Schaefer and his son Andy. Don't forget you get senior coffee there, 75 cents.
All right, hey, let's get going with your trivia.
I want multiple choice, Robert.
All right, you guys know we're starting with question number 8. Okay. Limo Man, here's your question. You've got, what is it, 15 or
15.
15 seconds, right?
Yeah.
All right, here's your question. Who holds the record for hitting home runs from both sides of the plate in the same game the most times in his career? Let me repeat. Who holds the record for hitting home runs from both sides of the plate in the same game the most times? And here are the choices. You have Chili Davis, Ruben Sierra, Eddie Murray, and Mark Teixeira. Give me an answer.
I'll say Eddie Murray.
Eddie Murray, no. Mark Teixeira, 13 times in his career, he hit home runs from both sides of the plate in the same game. 13 times in his career.
It's unbelievable.
All right, thanks for the call.
And his mother went to Highlands High School.
Right, in fact,
Margie Canterna.
I do some business with Blackburns, and one of the ladies who's got her cubicle has gads and gads of newspaper clippings and photos of Teixeira. Thanks for the call, Bruce.
Wait a minute, I'm not done yet.
All right, who's up?
Line deep right center field, and this ball is for Jim Nance, his wife, and his in-laws. And the 2015 All-Star Game will be held in Cincinnati.
That's right. Cincinnati got the 2015 All-Star Game.
Okay.
So it looks.
Thanks, Bruce. All right, do we have another caller? Mark, thanks for holding on. I know you normally call during a break. How you doing?
Oh, good evening, fellas. Hello?
Yeah, we're
Hello
here.
there.
Go ahead.
Okay, I didn't know if you could hear me or not. I'm calling from home today. I'm laid off this week.
Uh-oh. That's no good.
Yeah, well, just a week. They had to fix some machinery,
Oh,
so it was
okay.
scheduled. So,
Well, I'm glad you're not a victim of anything. So.
no, just a week. It's like a unpaid vacation till I could call unemployment office and get the check coming up later.
There you go.
How did you guys feel about the Super Bowl yesterday? Since I can't hear what was going on earlier in the show.
Well, let me give you a brief synopsis, my own feelings. I could care less which team had won or did win. I was kind of rooting for Baltimore because I didn't want Frisco to tie the Pittsburgh Steelers mark of the most Super Bowl wins. But I think the non-call, had that been against, let's say the Steelers were the team that was throwing the pass, I think I would be as irate as Jim Harbaugh was. But nonetheless, there were a lot of things to consider when Baltimore had all the momentum in the world going for them. You had that power blackout. You had an extremely long halftime. And George had mentioned at the top of the program, it was like 94 minutes when the last time Baltimore, between offensive showings of the Baltimore offense on the field of play. And I enjoyed the game as much as I saw of the game, but I did not expect the ending that we would have. The fact that, when you're leading, I think it was, 28-3 was the biggest spread?
28-6 was the.
Well, 28-6 was the biggest spread. And I just never imagined Frisco coming back, but they did. I enjoyed the game, but...
Well, one of the on the sports show, Bob Pompiani, I think I was listening late night, or like at 1:45 in the morning, and they said if it would have been a pass interference they call at the end, it was uncatchable, but holding, it wouldn't have mattered if it could have been caught or not. If he'd have thrown it in the stands, a holding would automatically have been a penalty. Is that true?
Right. Holding is holding, no matter where
Okay.
the ball is, yes.
Okay.
And you're not allowed to make contact after 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. Now, the ball was on the 5, so it's really 2 or 3 yards into the end zone, so that's something that should have been called.
Now, the view I saw, the one replay, the ref, he was blocked, but would there have been another ref on the other side that should have seen that? You know what I mean? When they showed the replay, the ref was looking, he was blocked by the back of the man, but I don't know, would there have been a ref more in the center of the end zone?
Yeah, there was one lined up in the center of the end zone.
Okay.
The center of the end line, not the end zone.
Or in line, okay.
Yeah.
So he didn't see it either. He didn't think it was. It was a judgment call, I guess, is what they call it, right?
And I don't agree with what Phil Simms said.
About the
that
non-call?
you don't make it. You don't make a non-call at that point in the game. Hey, it's either against the rules or it isn't. I don't like, and I don't want to see pro football turn into hockey, where they change the rules the last 5 minutes of the game
Where
and
they
don't
don't
call
call
things.
anything, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want pro football to become like the NHL.
Okay, yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that Seattle game about a month or so
Oh,
ago. You remember Seattle with the Hail Mary pass?
Oh, that was early. That was the game when the officials were on still locked up.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Against
Well, a
Green
couple of
Bay,
months
you mean,
ago.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one official called a touchdown, the other called an incomplete pass.
Who knows? There was a time when, and this goes back into the 80s, I wish I would have had a videotape of this. The Steelers involved with, I forget whatever team, but the officials put the ball down, and there were two officials, they were back to back. One pointed first down this way, and the other one pointed first on that way, and they didn't see each other doing it. It was like identical back to back. It was amazing. I wish I could find that clip.
Well, even the ref yesterday, last night's game, when he said first on, he was pointing, if you saw it, if you watched the one part, he said first on the one way, and it was the other way. Then he changed his mind real quick.
He made the right signal, but in the wrong direction.
Yeah, he made the right, but it was saying it wrong, pointing the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know, something people haven't brought up, Mark, is, and I did hear this today on the Fan, there was a lot of discussion about the two Harbaughs, John with Baltimore, Jim with San Francisco. And the fact that the loser, in this case, which was Jim, in the post-game conference or meeting with the press, had no complimentary remarks about his brother. And, you know, like, my brother was well prepared, he did a great job with his team. There was nothing like that. He never did anything to compliment. How could you not?
Nothing like a sibling rivalry.
Oh, gee whiz.
Yeah, they that competitive that they're that. I mean, yeah, because even when he said they met at the 50-yard line, I'd have thought he'd give him a little hug. You know, that's so common nowadays, and they just barely. He just said, "Oh, I love you," and that was it, or something, and they left. You know, if you saw it, it wasn't. It didn't seem like they were that, unless they don't want to show emotion.
Yeah, that was a brief encounter, if there ever was one.
The Super Bowl makes strange bedfellows,
yeah, that
right?
almost made the time where Chuck Noll gave the old to Jerry Glanville, where he jerked him.
Yeah.
Remember when he called him like a dirty, his team was dirty, and Chuck went to congratulate Jerry, stuck his hand out, and Chuck like pulled him or was mad.
Yeah.
I still remember that game.
Yeah, gave him a dressing down. Yeah, that was in the old Astrodome.
Now, we have 365 odd days roughly till the next Super Bowl plays the cold weather in New Jersey.
Right,
I guess,
played at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
That's good. Now, do you know, is that like is it like the Lambeau Field where they have like underground, heat pipes to keep the ground at least from freezing? Do they actually have those there?
Boy, that's a good question, because that stadium is only, 2 years old?
Yeah.
So you would think it would have modern amenities like that.
At least the ground wouldn't be super cold like,
You know
like
what,
it
Mark?
could be.
Let me look into that, and I'll try to do something on my radio show in a week or so.
Okay.
Well, of course, I'd like to have an answer here too, but I'd like to do something on the radio program as well.
Okay, I guess I'm ready for a trivia question then.
All right.
Help yourself, Mark. Pick something delicious.
What would you
my
prefer?
wife wants me to go for multiple choice again.
Multiple choice? Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
This is a good one. We've had this on the show in the past, but it's just as good anytime we have it. Name the only quarterback, Mark, to play in the Rose Bowl, the Super Bowl, and Canada's Grey Cup. Only one quarterback has ever played in the Rose Bowl, Super Bowl, and Canada's Grey Cup. 15 seconds, Mark.
We'll give the
I don't get the
Oh yeah, let's give you the multiple choice answers.
Yes.
How about Joe Cap, Doug Flutie, Jim Plunkett, or Warren Moon?
How about Warren Moon?
It's actually Joe Cap.
Oh, Indian Joe Cap. Okay.
Yeah, he played for the California Golden Bears, and in the Grey Cup he played for, who did he play for? British Columbia, or was it British Columbia Lions? And of course he played in the NFL with Oakland, right?
Minnesota?
No, Minnesota. Yeah, he was.
Okay, I knew I was going to narrow it down to one of those two. When you said Warren Moon, I'm thinking I knew he was in Canada.
Yeah, he played for Minnesota in Super Bowl IV.
Okay.
Mark.
Thank you, fellas, very much. Well, hopefully I can call next Monday.
Great hearing from you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Hey, Mark, thank you for the call. Break time on the program. We're going to do that now. And I think we have a caller when we come back. Am I correct? Okay. Let's do the break. We're coming right back, and we're going to talk about Mattio's Pizza at their new location. Stay with us.
AKLC Studios LLC is the place for your video and multimedia needs. Let AKLC Studios produce a unique television commercial for your business. At your location or in our studios, we're here to meet your needs. Ever want your own television show? Let us show you how. AKLC Studios LLC can even tape your special events and weddings. Whatever your multimedia need, call AKLC Studios LLC in Leechburg today. Professional quality at hometown prices. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Westmoreland Insurance Services isn't like your ordinary insurance agency. Not only can you get a variety of quotes from leading insurance companies, but you can purchase that protection through Westmoreland Insurance. Accidents happen. Are you prepared? You can be with a wide range of homeowners insurance options from Westmoreland Insurance Services. Putting your family's safety in their family's hands for almost 40 years. Give them a call, 724-337-3557. My first book on sports is available not only through the internet, but at various local businesses in the AK Valley. It's Bob Tattern's Sports Minutes. Short sports stories, odd and unusual, fascinating and funny, only take about a minute to read. Go online to doubletripplebob.com where links are provided for Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Word Association to get book information. Get your copy locally at Costello Printing in Tarentum, Blackburn's in Tarentum, Myrna's Brewery Outlet in New Kensington, or the Hot Dog Guys Lower Borough. And by the way, if you're going to give a shot at our Sportsline mystery profile, Mattio's Pizza and Subs in Brackenridge Heights brings it to you. Everything on Mattio's menu is made with quality ingredients. Hand-tossed pizzas, gyro sandwiches, subs, hoagies, calzones, strombolis, wingdings, and lots more. Mattio's Pizza and Subs has it all, including their signature Iron Man hoagie. And one of our guys here, Bill Gray, says that he won't go to his grave until he has given that sandwich a shot. Mattio's, 1000 Broadview Boulevard, Brackenridge Heights, 724-904-7312. Folks, you're watching Sportsline Trivia here on Comcast, and George has a word about his book. George, if you will.
And don't forget my book, The AK Valley Sports History. It's on sale at Costello's Printing in Tarentum and at the Hot Dog Guy shop in Lower Borough. And nowadays, as I'm finding out, a lot of people order their books online. Just go to wordassociation.com. Wordassociation.com. Pick up your copy. I will also be at the Mills Mall this week for the Strongline Chamber of Commerce Business Expo. I'll be at the authors section between noon and 5 o'clock Saturday and Sunday. This coming Saturday and Sunday up at the Mills Mall. Looking forward, Bob, to meeting a lot of our viewers for this show.
Okay, and I'll be there as well. Let's go to Rich. Rich, high pressure, low pressure, what's going on?
Well, you've been busy lately.
I'll tell you, I can't wait to move to Florida. I'm tired of this stuff. I mean, I got to go to Bradenton. I heard that's a really good place to go see some really good baseball in February and March. Hey, Sunday turned out to be a pretty crummy day. Well, I guess, was it Saturday? I can't remember. To see one of the most overrated players in the history of the NFL, Warren Sapp, get into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot before Jerome Bettis on his third ballot. And then to watch last night, I mean, I guess it was appropriate the lights went out because that was some bad football being played last night. There was some good parts to the game and everything. But I thought one of the most disgusting things I saw, and maybe disgusting is too strong a word, but to watch John Harbaugh berate that NFL official or NFL guy on the sidelines like it's his fault the lights went out. I mean, it was just, I just couldn't believe it.
I wondered about that.
I mean, he was acting like this guy turned the lights out on purpose or something. I don't understand these two, the way they act, the way they carry themselves on the sidelines and stuff. I don't get it, and I think that's part of the reason why I don't like either of those coaches, just because of the way they act. And I think they're hypocritical because of the way they try to portray themselves off the field and then the way they act on the field. But I was glad San Francisco made a game of it because it was getting to the point where I was almost ready to turn the channel and watch something else. But
I heard the Geographical, or what is it, National Geographic, had one whale of a program on why the trout, or the salmon rather, swim upstream. That was the option.
I missed that. Bob, you should have called me. I would have turned it on. But on another note, it's good to see the Penguins finally playing Penguin hockey. And what I mean by that is, instead of this passing in the neutral zone and side to side and all that stuff, they're now playing north to south hockey. They're moving the puck quickly from their defensive end to the forward. The forward's either carrying it or dumping the puck in, and they're going to work down low. So it's nice to see they're getting back to playing that way instead of what they had been doing the previous couple games where they were doing all that passing through the neutral zone and then passing in the offensive zone and getting it picked off and sent down the other way. So I was actually glad to see that they're, actually playing a little more like they should be. And I think they'll be okay. I don't think Crosby's back the whole way yet. I think he's starting to round his game back, but I don't think he's back. And I'm sort of confused what's going on with Malkin a little bit. He's all over the ice. He's dominating, but he's just not scoring, and I'm just sort of confused by that. Maybe that'll come too.
Yeah, you think that it will come in time, yeah.
Yeah, so, and hey, I saw it on Twitter that the Pirates are getting ready to start their mini camp, so that's real exciting, and we'll have that to look forward to. And I don't know if either one of you saw this, but it's being reported that the Pirates are close to signing Jonathan Sanchez. If you remember him of the dubious, wasn't he the one that had the dubious no-hitter for San Francisco?
I'm not sure about his.
Yeah, there's, was it San Francisco or Florida?
It was San Francisco, and then he was traded from San Francisco to Kansas City last year. And
right.
And that's the best part is he was traded for Melky Cabrera.
Yes.
And so then he was traded to Colorado. So I guess they're close to signing him, and they're still trying to sign Liriano. So they're going to have a couple lefties. I'm not sure if either one. I would guess Sanchez is going to probably be they're just going to take a chance on him.
Minor league invitee, yeah.
Something like that. So anyways, football season's over, hockey season's on, and Pirates will be just around the corner.
And you're loving it.
Right, what is this, 8 days till pitchers and catchers report?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And here's a question for you. I asked a friend of mine the other day, and he gave me a great answer to it, but what is the most money spent by a team to have a losing record? I don't know what it is. But the Pirates are going to have a payroll of almost $80 million, and I'm still not convinced they're going to have a winning record. And I just wondered, that's a lot of money to be spending to go for year 21 of a losing record.
Well, about 3 years ago, the Seattle Mariners had about a $105 million payroll. They were the first team in history to have a $100 million plus payroll and finish in last place.
Okay. I was thinking, too, the Red Sox last year probably had a huge payroll.
Oh, yeah. They were, about $137 million or something like that. Yeah, I forgot all about Boston last year. We're so accustomed to having them contend in the pennant race, and last year they finished in last place.
Right, so...
Rich, what do you want to do about your trivia? We got a...
All right, let's go for the mystery profile again. I got to get one of these someday.
Oh, okay, Bob.
All right, my shot, okay. Sponsored, of course, by Mattio's Pizza. If you get it on the first clue, it's $100 in prizes, and it diminishes by $25 in prizes with each passing clue. Okay, here we go. Clue number 1. Obviously, we're looking for the name of an athlete. When I admitted using steroids, a street in my hometown that was named after me was renamed again.
Where's the slap in the face?
Wow.
Okay, jump to number 2. Want to take a shot anyway?
No, I don't have any good idea on that one.
Okay, all right, here we go. Clue number 2, now we're down to $75. I found out that I was traded to another team one day when I was in the on-deck circle.
Wow.
And they wouldn't let him bat because the transaction had taken place, and they pulled him off the field and sent him away.
It wasn't Cam Caminetti, was it?
No.
No, but that's a good guess.
Yep.
That's a good guess.
Let's go to number 3. I offered and I paid $30,000 to a man who is a sports announcer and a former NFL official to fight me in the ring.
Jose Canseco?
You got it. $50 in prizes,
Hey, all right.
Rich.
All right. Hey, thanks, guys. Have a great night.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're coming back in a moment. Stay with us.
Okay.
Auction and Discount Warehouse, Route 380, Murraysville.
See us first for holiday decorations and supplies. Our entire inventory's on sale at discount prices. Don't wait. Supplies are limited. Since you'll spend less than you thought on decorations, see us for gifts. Our inventory of new name brand furniture, tools, housewares, pet supplies, automotive supplies, and toys are also on sale at discount prices.
Get to 380 Auction and Discount Warehouse today, Route 380, Murraysville.
Why do Arnold Furniture's customers continue to come back year after year? Maybe it's the personal touch that the Miller family has provided since 1975. Maybe it's the prices that are consistently lower than the competition. Or how about the selection? 4 floors of living room, dining room, recliners, bedding, accessories, and so much more. Plus free local delivery, free setup, and free removal of your old furniture guaranteed. The choice is obvious. Visit Arnold Furniture online at arnoldfurnitureinc.com or stop in and see us today.
Max and his son made their way homeward bound when mischievous rain dropped down, down, down. Safety was threatened by every roguish drip. They slipped and slid. They couldn't get a grip. Then along came the Michelin Man, reminding them the right tire changes everything. Stop up to 31 feet shorter than a leading competitor with the new Michelin Defender tire, backed by a 90,000-mile warranty. Michelin, a better way forward.
Available at Highland Tire under the bridge in Tarentum and Freeport Road at Trona Heights. Tower Auto Sales, located on Freeport Road in Blawnox, and they boast about the best products, the best selection, the best customer communication, and the best service after the sale. Tower Auto Sales, just buy it. Call Mike Fantu if you would, 412-828-6202. We're in the last segment of the program. Have a couple of folks in our studio audience here tonight, and Chris is one of them from Lower Burrell. Chris, welcome to the program tonight. And you don't have to lean into the mic. You can just stand where you are, and we'll converse. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Okay. Thanks for having me at the audience tonight. It was nice. As a longtime listener, I've enjoyed the show, and now I see it up and close and personal. I just wanted to comment on the fact that the Super Bowl. Why is it a coincidence of the power going out last year and it went out again this year? Was that they do that as a?
You know what? You had mentioned that during a commercial break, the fact that power also went out at last year's Super Bowl, and I just, for the life of me, and George had to leave here, but we're both scratching our heads as to where last year's Super Bowl was played. I don't recall. I was telling George before we went on the air that I remember something in recent history where power was lost at a championship game. Obviously, it wasn't hockey and it wasn't basketball, so it was either football or maybe a World Series game, but I tend to believe that it was a football game. And if there's another viewer out there who might be able to help out with, the location and who was playing, if it was last year or the year before, let us know.
I'm just almost certain it was last year. It's just the amazing fact that the Baltimore team came out ahead because Frisco gave them a run for their money. I can really say they did.
Well, and Rich, the caller before the commercial break, had said he was, the game had some good spots here and there, but for the most part, or in some part anyway, he was kind of disappointed in it. And it wasn't until Frisco rallied, but then again, it's the story about a lot of ball games, Chris, as we all know, that, when you're taking in a ball game and it's not very interesting and it's only a matter of time before one team finally puts the nail in the coffin, so to speak, you're just not enjoying it. But when you start to see the other team come back and make a game of it, then you sit down again and take it all in. And that's what sports is all about. You don't win close games, or not every game is a close, exciting game. There are dogs and there are good ones. So yesterday just turned out to be a barn burner, but only in the last period.
It was an enjoyable game. I mean, you got to look for the competition. If you were not going to look for the competition, what's the use of watching the game? I feel it's better just to enjoy the whole game, get the excited, get the momentum going. Because if you sit there and be bored to death, I mean, it's no fun.
And it's always more exciting, of course, when your home team is involved. And of course, our Steelers were not there this year. We didn't even make the playoffs. But Baltimore had an amazing run. And when you think about the kind of a job that Flacco did in the entire playoff series, we're talking about winning all the games on the road. Baltimore came back. You look what they did against Denver to begin with. And Flacco has made a difference. Excellent offensive line. He had the protection. I don't have in front of me just how many times he's been sacked in the playoffs, but he did a marvelous job, and there was no doubt that he should have been named and was named the Super Bowl MVP yesterday. So, and then you look at the upcoming season for the Ravens, and you have high hopes for it. And there's always that, the draft dictates that the weak gets stronger, and the stronger perhaps can get weaker. There haven't been too many times, Chris, when teams have won back-to-back Super Bowls. I think 3 teams have done it, and only the Steelers have done it twice.
Oh, what are you gonna do? I just look at New England 2 years ago when they won undefeated, and then they just come back and lost the Super Bowl. It just happened. That's all there is. Sports is unpredictable.
Well,
okay.
Chris, the success of a quarterback depends a heck of a lot on the offensive line, but it's at times when that line seems to break down, when the quarterback shines, you've got a winner when that happens.
Oh, yes, definitely.
All right, Chris,
multiple choice, please.
Yeah, multiple choice. Here we go, and you've got question number 1. So we'll take a look at it here. You can see it on your monitor out there, Chris?
I'll just play it by ear like I always do. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. I don't know, okay, here we go. Question number 1. Chris, back in 2002, there was a team that played the Steelers and managed only 47 yards of offense, and yet they beat the Steelers with only 47 yards of offense. And would like you to pick from the 4 just who that was. Was it Miami? Was it Houston? Was it Cleveland or Cincinnati?
I'm going to say Cincinnati.
Chris, I am so sorry. You are incorrect on the call. Believe it or not, the Houston Texans were the team. And that happened back in 2002. Thank you very much. Coming up here, Chris, and being part of our studio audience. I had a few folks up here tonight. Always good to see them, especially in the weather that we've had. And it's not been pretty the last couple of days. On behalf of George Guido, I'm Bob Tattern. We thank you for watching our program tonight. We'll be back next Monday night for streaming. The replays are always on every Thursday night on Comcast Cable at 8:30. And the high school basketball season now coming to an end. And a week from, today, next Tuesday, February 12th, the WPIAL committee will meet and the pairings will be announced, and we'll find out where our local teams will be playing, what brackets they are in, and we wish them all the best of luck. Thanks again for watching tonight. Bob Tattern here. Have a good evening. So long, everybody. Sportsline, brought to you by Ace Hardware, AKLC Studios, Arnold Furniture, Buffalo Bills Roadhouse, Fazio's Italian Deli, Highland Tire, Matteo's Pizza, Myrna's Brewery Outlet, the Resevich family of funeral homes, 380 Discount Warehouse, Tower Auto Sales, and Westmoreland Insurance Services